All right, let's get right into it. Dealing with the bad manager can feel absolutely draining, right? It can make you question your job, your skills, everything. But what if I told you there's a clear, step-by-step plan to protect yourself and your career? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build today.
First things first, have you ever had that thought, the one? I love my job, but I can't stand my boss. If you're feeling stuck, or maybe even unfairly targeted, I want you to know that feeling is valid. You are not making this up, and believe me, you are not alone in this.
So, this brings up a huge question. Why do some managers who are, let's be honest, not very good at their jobs seem to be completely untouchable? It's like they're coated in Teflon. Before we can build our defense, we gotta understand what we're up against. Let's solve this mystery.
The truth is, what you're seeing is a super common workplace dynamic. It's a known thing. For a whole bunch of reasons that have almost nothing to do with their actual performance, some managers get a free pass. They're shielded from the consequences.
And here's a peek behind that curtain. A lot of the time, it comes down to things like internal politics, who they know, Or maybe it's just that firing them and hiring someone new is a huge, expensive headache for the company. Sometimes they're hitting some weird metric that nobody else sees, or honestly, the company just doesn't want to rock the boat.
Now, this kind of environment can lead to a really nasty behavior, and it has a name: managerial scapegoating. This is basically when an insecure manager protects themselves by throwing their own team members under the bus to cover up their own mistakes. It's a pure survival tactic, and it is so destructive for everyone else.
Okay, so knowing all that, we have to make a really critical diagnosis, and this is important. How you're going to handle this depends entirely on the type of manager you have. Are they actually toxic, or are they just kind of bad at their job? Getting this right changes everything.
And the main difference between the two? It really just boils down to one simple thing: intent. A toxic manager is often intentionally harmful. Their actions are designed to undermine you. An underperforming manager, on the other hand, is usually just unintentionally flawed. They don't have the skills, but they don't have the malice either.
Let's break it down with this chart. See, a toxic manager will always blame someone else when things go wrong. An underperformer might miss a target, sure, but they try to learn from it. A toxic manager micromanages you to death and plays favorites, creating this culture of fear. An underperformer? They're probably just disorganized, but they're still trying to be cooperative. Really look at this. Figuring out where your manager falls is your first real step to taking your power back.
All right, diagnosis is done. Now we're shifting gears. It's time to stop analyzing the problem and start building the solution. This is all about your self-defense strategy. This is where you start taking control of the story.
And here it is. This is your playbook in 6 simple steps. We're going to document everything. We're going to stay professional and set firm boundaries. We're going to deliver results that nobody can argue with. We'll build allies, escalate smartly if we have to, and always have an exit plan ready to go. Look, a strategy is no good if it just sits on a slide, right? So we are going to make this real. We're going to turn this into a week-by-week plan that will put you back in the driver's seat in just 1 month. Here's how the next 4 weeks will look. Week 1 is all about setup. Week 2, we establish boundaries. Week 3 is for networking. And week 4, it's time for action. Simple, right? Each week builds on the one before it.
Okay, let's go. Week 1, setup. Your mission this week is to build a fortress of facts. I want you to start a daily work log. Track every single task and your progress. This creates a paper trail that is impossible to deny. Save everything, every email, every chat message, every approval. This isn't being paranoid, it's being prepared. And start sending a weekly progress report to your manager and anyone else who matters. Make your hard work visible.
Now for week 2, we focus on boundaries. From now on, every time you get a new task or a deadline, you confirm it in writing. No more he said, she said. A quick email is all it takes. You also need to start practicing how to politely say no to things that are just unreasonable. You have to protect your time and energy. And finally, keep your own private log of all the feedback you get, good and bad. It helps you see the patterns.
Week 3 is when we get proactive. I want you to start actively talking to people on other teams. Build your network inside the company. Your reputation should be bigger than just one person's opinion of you. And you need to start sharing your own accomplishments. In meetings, in your weekly reports. If you don't talk about your wins, who will?
And try to tie everything you do to a number, a metric, a measurable result. You're not just busy, you're effective. Prove it.
And that brings us to week 4, action. After a month of this, you are in a position of strength. If you need to, you can now go to HR with your folder of facts. And when you do, you focus only on the impact to the business, not on your personal feelings. At the very same time, you get your own ducks in a row. Update that resume, polish your LinkedIn, start looking at what else is out there, inside or outside the company. This isn't about giving up. It's about giving yourself choices.
And really, this quote says it all. Your best defense is just being so good, so reliable, and so well documented that you become an asset they can't afford to lose, not an easy person to blame. That's how you make yourself bulletproof.
So there you have it. We've gone through the diagnosis, the strategy, and the week-by-week plan. The power is officially back in your court. Your career is in your hands. So the only question left is, what's your first move?